Hello guys, in this course we want to create a e-commerce shopping cart website with React and Redux. At the end of this course you will have a shopping cart demo like this. Add products to your basket like this and remove product from basket. You can filter your products based on their size, and also you can order your products based on the price from lowest to highest or reverse. Also, it shows the number of founded products here and it's ready to check out. If you click on a product multiple times, it counts the number of clicks and add the number of products to your basket. That's it. This simple shopping cart prototype shows how React components and Redux can be used to build a friendly user experience with instant visual updates and scalable code in e-commerce application. You can find the source code at this link. Some frameworks and libraries are used in this project. React for sure is for creating UI, Redux for state management, Node.js which uses a package JSON-server for RESTful API server. To run the project, open your terminal and clone the repository from GitHub, then go to your folder and run npm install. To run, you need to run the server first with npm server, and to run the application npm start. Open localhost 3000 port in the browser to check the application. That's it. Please follow the lessons to create this project in your computer and enjoy this journey. Bye-bye. Before diving into code, we need to install tools to develop our e-commerce shopping carts. We need 4 tools. The first one is VS Code, which you can download from this link and follow the instruction to install VS Code. Also, we need Git, which is a version control system. The third tool is Node.js, which you can download from this URL and install it in your computer. And the last one is Yarn, which is a Node.js package manager, which you will need it to work with React. After installing these 4 tools, we need to configure VS Code. First of all, we need to install ES7 React Redux snippet. Click on extension menu and here search for ES7 React Redux snippet. Click on it and click on install. Because I have already installed ES7 React, you see uninstall, but for your VS Code you will see install button. You will click on it and it will install in a second. For Windows users, you need to configure the terminal because we want to change the terminal executor from PowerShell to Bash, because after you install the Git, you will have bash.exe at this address and you need to follow this path from file menu, preference, setting, features, and inside the features, select terminal and edit on json.setting. Add this code to the setting.json to let the integrated terminal run bash.exe instead of PowerShell.exe. Then restart the VS Code. Now your VS Code is ready to create React app. In this lesson, we want to create a React application. We need to follow these steps to create the app. First of all, open your terminal. And here you need to install create React app with this command. Create React app with npm install -g. -g means globally. Press enter, and after a few minutes, the Create React App CLI will be installed. Now it's time to create a folder for our React application. mkdir my projects and cd my projects. Here it's time to use create react app CLI command. Let's type create-react-app, and as a parameter you would enter the name of your application, which is e-commerce shopping cart. Press enter, and it takes a while to download the packages for creating your React application. There you are. Now it's time to go to the application folder, which is e-commerce-shopping-cart, and here you can use yarn start or npm start to run your application. But before that, we want to go to VS Code for this folder. Type code dot to open VS Code for this folder, and here from terminal menu use the integrated terminal, and here run yarn start. That's it. You have your application already, and here you have the running version of your application, and the VS Code shows the source code of your projects. The first step to edit the code is app.js, which I will teach you how to do that in next lesson. Please follow the course Creating E-commerce Shopping Cart with React and Redux in next lessons. For showing list of products, we need a RESTful API which returns an array of products. Let's create the REST API server by json-server npm package. First of all, we need to install this package globally. Open your integrated terminal in VS Code, press on the plus button to create a new terminal, and install JSON server. While installing the JSON server, you can open the public folder and create db.json here. This file is a JSON, so it's an object, has a property product, put the product between quotes, and product is an array of product. Each product has a title, so put the title inside double quote to green t-shirt. It also has a price, for example, $10.5. It has an ID, which is first, and it also has a SKU, which is a unique number to identify this product, and description. To create a complete list of products from the GitHub source of the project, which is in this link. Here I copy the content of db.json and replace it with the data here. And here is the list of product in db.json. That's it. It's time to create JSON server with this command json-server public/db.json, and you need to specify the port parameter, which is 8000. So when you press enter, run this address localhost colon 8000/products, you will see the list of products you specified inside db.json. So your RESTful API server is ready for your React project, and you can use this URL inside your project with fetch method. Also, you need to create a product folder inside public folder products, and here put images from GitHub repository. Open the repository link here inside public/products. You can download these 18 files. Open the file and click on download, then press Ctrl S and select your folder public products and press save. For next 18 products, copy the products like this inside the products folder here. So your API server and your product images are ready to implement shopping cart application. In this lesson, we want to create the first component, which is products list. We want to create this part, which shows the thumbnail of products and a button to add to cart the product. Let's start by adding Bootstrap to the project, because we use some stuff from Bootstrap like container, rows, columns, and thumbnail class. To add this, let's copy this text and add it to the index.html. Before the title, add the Bootstrap style sheet from Bootswatch. The next change is the render method of app.js. Here, let's get rid of these tags and change the class name to container. And inside the container, create a h1 tag with this title: e-commerce shopping cart application. Press an HR, and here we would make a roof class name roof, and inside the roof we need two columns. The first one is for products and the second one is for basket. The first column fill 8 block, and the second column, which is on the right side, fill 4 block. Here is where the products component will go. Products. The products component accepts the products attribute, which is list of products from the state filtered products, and it also accepts a handler when you click add to cart. Handle add to cart, which is this dot handle add to. This is the usage of products component, but when you save, you will see an error which shows products is not defined. So we need to define the products component here. Let's import. We need to put our components inside the component folder and / products. Let's create the component folder inside source folder, and here we create products.js, and here you can create a class-based component with RCC tab. We need to fill the filtered product from JSON server we already created in last lesson. So first of all, we need to create a constructor and run the super here. Here we need to set the state, default value for state. The first one is the products, which is empty array by default. Filtered products, which is also empty. If you check the result, you will see the e-commerce shopping cart show no product. So it's time to fetch products. We use the component lifecycle method. Component will mount, and here we use the fetch method to fetch the products from the RESTful API we already created at http://localhost 8000/products. Inside then we need to convert the results to JSON, and the other then, which is the data, comes from the RESTful API server. Here we use this dot set state for products to data, and also we set the filtered products to same data, but we will change it when the filter components comes into the picture. Now it's time to show the products in the product component. Open the product.js, and inside that we want to show the products items, which is a constant that comes from this .probes.products, and we use map method to convert the products array to the JSX elements. We use class name thumbnail and text sender. We wrap the thumbnail inside call md4. Also here we use class name roof. So the product items class name will be called md4 inside the class name roof. Here we create a link. We want to show the image of product, which its source is /products and product.sku.jpg. For the map, we need to define the parameter. That's it. Let's get rid of this error by setting the href of this anchor to the ID of the product. And here there is another error which need to set the alt to the product dot title. Great. Here we have the image of product, and it's time to have the title of product. Let's put the title inside a paragraph, and here product dot title. Let's check the result. Here you see we don't have the picture of the product. We're supposed to have them inside the products. Oops, we need to add underline 1 to show the first version. Oh, for the small version of each picture, we need to add underline 2. Great. You see, we have list of our products here. We need to also set the price and add to cart button. At the end of the anchor tag, let's create another div. Here we create a bold element, and here show the product dot price and a button which its class name is btn default, and the onClick method we want to call the this.probes.handle add to cart. So change it to the ES6 arrow function, which first argument is event, and here we call event and the product as a second argument of handle add to cart method. Add to cart. Let's use this one for the anchor. Great. This is the result of our code. It shows the price and also add to cart button. Let's change the default to primary to make a contrast between button and the other stuff inside each product thumbnail. And let's create a space between price and add to cart like this. Here I prefer to use a utility function format currency. Let's create a util.js, and inside util.js export default format currency, which is a function that accepts a number and convert it to currency format. Return dollar plus number num2 fixed 2, and convert the number to local string and add an space at the end of the price. Let's use the format currency here. Format currency to show the product price. Here we need to import format currency from, let's go back to the previous folder, and inside the previous folder util. Here we need to use util.formatCurrency, and we just need to import util from util. That's it. And you see the text, the price is formatted like this. Now when you click on the button, you will get an error which shows handle add to cart is not a function. We will resolve this error on the next lessons. We created a products component which shows list of products, and when you click on each product, it's ready to add the products to the basket. That's it for this lesson. For next lesson, we want to add a filter bar at the top of the products which make sort and filter products by their size. In this part, we're gonna be creating a filter component. Here we need to add filter.js and use RCC tab to create class-based filter class. What we wanna do is to create a filter bar like this, which comprises of 3 parts. The first one is the number of founded products. The second one is the order by select, and the last one is filtering by size. Let's create this filter in the project. First of all, we need to edit the app.js. Right before products, we add filter, which auto import from components /filter. You will see the filter imported here, and it accepts size, which comes from this state.size. Also, it accepts sort, which also comes from this state.sort. Also, the filter need handle change size, this handle change size, and also handle change sort, which will be this handle change sort. The last attribute of filter will be number of products, which is count. It is the length of filter to product rate. Here is the usage of filter, and we put an HR. That's it. We have the filter, and we need to implement the filter bar in the filter.js. First of all, we need to create a roof and put 3 columns there. We use call md4 to create 3 columns. This is the first one, second one, and the third one. In the first one, we want to show the number of products. So it is like this probs, because in the app.js, we passed the count to the filter components as a probs. So here we use this probs.count products found. Here you see the result, 9 products found. It's time to create sort box. The sort will be here. Let's put this inside label, and here we see order by, and put a select here, which its class name is form control, and its value comes from probs sort, and the onChange method also comes from probs handle change sort. And here where the options goes, the first option value is empty, its value is select, so the default sort by ID. The second one is lowest to highest. So we need to implement the handle change sort in the app.js, because The handle change sort comes from the property, and the property here is handle change sort. Let's implement handle change sort which accept the event argument, and here only we use set state. Here is time to implement list products. Use this dot set state, and we use the second form of set state which takes the current state as a parameter for set state, and inside here we need to return the next state. First of all, we need to check the value of the state.sort. If it's not empty, we sort by the value of state.sort. Here we use the sort method of arrays in JavaScript, state.products.sort. Sort method accepts two objects of array. We need to return 1 or -1 based on the result of sorting criteria. So first of all, we need to check state.sort. If it's lowest, we check the value of a.price less than b.price. We return 1, else we return -1. And if the state.sort is highest, we change the criteria and make it reverse greater than. If the state.sort is not empty, if it's lowest or highest, it will be sorted based on the product price, else we sort them based on the ID. If a.id smaller than b.id, return 1, else return -1, and close the sort method. At the end, we'll return filter products equal to state.products. Great, so we have sorted products here and we set them to the filter product. Let's check the result. Here you see the order by. The first one is select, a second one lowest to highest, and the highest to lowest. You will see nothing applied. Let's check why it doesn't work. Very good. We need to set the key for the items inside products. Here inside the map, we need to set a key which its value is product.id. Let's resolve these errors, and you see it doesn't work again. There is a typo error here, handle change. We need to change the handle change sort with handle change sort here. That's it. If you select, you see there is an error, cannot read property set state of undefined. Handle change sort. We need to bind the handle change sort in the constructor. We need to bind this and check the result. You see it works. If you select to highest to lowest, oh, it's reversed. We need to change it. The sorting criteria we need to change, and here what we need to do is to change the direction of comparing. Let's check the result. Lowest to highest, you see it's lowest to highest, highest to lowest, and by ID, here is the default one, lowest to highest price, highest to lowest price, and the default one is based on their ID. Great, we implemented the sort. Let's go for filtering by size. To filter by size, we need to implement select inside the third column. Let's copy from the sort and change it to filter size, and change the handle change sort to handle change size, and here the value will be size, and the select options is these values. All the value is empty, X, S, M, L, XL, XXL. You see the options here. In the app.js, we need to implement handle change size by duplicating the handle change sort and replacing the sort by size. And here also we set the size And in the constructor method, we need to bind size like this, because we need to access this .setState, which this need to point to the app component. So what remains here is implementing filter inside setState in the list product. So here we check the value of size. If it's not empty, we return an object which filtered products is state.products.filter, and we need to only filter the products which the available sizes property contain the state.size. Avail sizes dot index of state.size. If there is an item inside available sizes which equal to state.size, its index are 0 or greater than 0. Make the size to uppercase. You see, the XL filtered only the t-shirt that have at least one XL size shows in the e-commerce shopping cart application. That's it. We implemented the order by and filtering by size, and we are ready to implement the add to basket part, which will be placed here, and you can add products to the basket in the next part of e-commerce shopping cart application. In this part, we're going to be creating basket component. It's the result, and when you click on each product, it will be added to the basket like this. And if you click multiple times on a product, it will increase the number of items in the basket for the specified product. When you refresh the page, your items in the basket remains, and it will be saved on the local storage of the browser. First of all, we need to create basket.js, which will be our basket component. Right click on the component, new file, basket.js, and type RCC, press tab to create basket class-based basket component like this. Press Ctrl S, and inside app.js, under the right side div, add basket and press tab to auto import basket component from ./components/basket. We need to set two properties for basket component. The first one is cart items, which will be items.state.cart items. And the second one is removing item from basket. We need to implement handle remove from cart, which is handle remove cart. That's it. This is the usage of basket. Let's go for implementing components. First of all, we need to set default value for cart items to empty array, because at the very beginning there is no item in the basket, and inside the basket component in the render method we fetch cart items from list.probes. To make the basket blue, we use alert info class name, and inside that, first of all, we need to check the value of cart items length. If number of item 0, we show this message, basket is empty, else we put a div, and inside div we show you have number of item in the cart items products in the basket. Great, let's save app.js and basket.js and check the result. You see here, you see this message, the basket is empty. Handle add to cart accept two methods. The first one is the event and the second one is product. When user click on the add to cart button, we need to add the product to the cart item. So this dot set state, we use the second form of set state, which takes state as an argument, and inside that we set the cart's item to the constant cart's item from state and set a flag product already in cart to false. For each item inside cart item, if item.id equals to product.id, so it's already in the cart, and item.count will be increased by 1. At the end of for loop, we check if product is not already in the cart, and if it's true, we need to add the product to the cart. Cart items dot push, we use a split operator for products and join it with count 1. That's it. Here, to save the product in the local storage, we use local storage.setItem and use JSON stringify for cart items. And at the end, return cart items. Let's check the result. Here, we click on add to cart and we see error which shows this.setState is not a function because we need to bind add to cart in the constructor method like this. Bind, let's check the result. Fail to execute set item on storage requires 2 parameters instead of 1. So here I set for local storage.set item, save the cart item inside this key, cart items. That's it. Let's press, you see, you have 1 product in the basket, 2 product, 3 product, and if we click multiple times, you see only the number of different products will be in the counter. Let's list product inside basket.js, here where we need to check cart item dot length, and if it's bigger than 0, and here we use a div to show products item in the cart. Here we use unordered list, and inside that we use map function for cart item to convert cart item to JSX element. Each product in the cart item will be inside a list item, and inside the list item I use b tag to bold the item.title and show a button to remove btn danger, and it's x as a remove, and inside this button I set the onClick method to this dot handle remove from cart, which accept event, and inside that event is first parameter and item is the second parameter. Let's check the result. We implemented the basket like this, and Here, next to item.title, we need to show item.count. So I put an X here, which stands for multiply item.title by item.count. Great. Let's check the result. When you click multiple times on a product, you see number of items in the basket increase. You see, when you refresh the page, the item in the basket removes. So what we want to do is to fetch from local storage the saved product in the basket. Let's do that in the app.js. In the app.js and in the component will mount, we need to check local storage dot get items cart items, and if it exists, we need to fetch the products from local storage. So this dot set state cart items will be json.parse, because value in the local storage is a string and we need to convert the string to JavaScript object. Local storage that get item cart items. Great. Let's check the result. And when you refresh the page, you see product exists in the basket. Let's implement the remove product from basket. In the basket.js, we delegate removing from cart to the probes of basket. So in the app.js, we need to implement handle remove from cart. Next to handle add to cart, we implement handle remove from cart. What we want to do in the handle remove from cart is looking for cart items array and remove the specified item in the item argument. So use this dot set state and state as argument, and there we check state dot cart items, and here we use filter method for each element, and if element dot id is not equal to item dot id, we add it to the cart items, which is a new array. The easy job is to return cart items. Set local storage to the new cart items, which excluded the removed product. Great. Let's check the result. Here, let's remove. Handle remove from cart is not a function. Let's go back to the basket, and inside here there is a typo error, and also we need to bind this for handle remove from cart, and the handle remove from cart is ready. Let's remove item. You see it works, and basket is empty, and if you click on items, you see items on the basket. At the end of this part, we want to show the total prices of products. So let's go back to basket.js, and here next to cart item.count we put a equals sign and show item dot price multiply by item dot count, and at the end of list we need to show total price of cart. Here we use the reduce method of array for cart item, and for accumulator and current item let's put these two in parentheses, and here we return a plus c dot price multiply by c dot count, and the default value for accumulator is 0. And before that we show total like this. Let's check the result, and you see, let's use util.format currency to format the total value of basket. Util.format currency, and put the result inside this function. So we need to import total, we need to import util from util. Great. You see, it's formatted right now, and if we add product to the basket, you see the total here. That's it, all we did for developing basket component, which enable you to add item to the basket and also remove the basket. At the end, we just show a checkout button to continue the process. Button, class name, btn primary, and on click will be alert checkout needs to implement, and set the caption of button to checkout. That's it, we have checkout button. Great. That's it for, let's put the checkout inside the condition, because we don't like to check out empty basket. Put a br line break. Oops, there is a type error in the cart items, need to be cart items to apply removing item from local storage too. That's it. You see, when you click and refresh, the products will be removed. In this part of React Redux shopping cart, we're gonna add Redux to the project. First of all, we need to know what the Redux is. Redux is a tool for managing both data state and UI state in JavaScript application. Redux separates the application data and business logic into one container in order to let React manage just the view. Rather than a traditional library or a framework, it's an application data flow architecture. It's most compatible with single-page application where the management of the state over time can get complex. Here you see the architecture of Redux. We have some components like UI, action, store, which comprises of state and reducer, and there is a data flow between them. Actions are plain JavaScript objects which are the main source of information used to send data from the application to the store. Any change into the states come from action. Reducers. Reducers are function or pure function that take the current state of application and an action and then return a new state. Store. Store is a JavaScript object which can hold the application state and provide a few helper methods to access the state and dispatch action and register listeners. And the last part of Redux comes to React, which are the UI part. As a UI, you can notify from changing the state from the Redux, and you can dispatch an action to change the state of Redux. Now that we know how Redux works, it's time to install Redux and add Redux to our React project. With these three packages, we can add Redux to our React project. The packages are installed and it's time to start adding Redux to the project. First of all, we need to wrap the whole application in the provider. Provider is a component from React Redux which gives the state to the all component inside that. Here we wrap the whole app component inside provider, and provider accepts attribute which is store, which will be create it in a second. Let's import provider from React Redux. This code will not run because a store is not defined. src folder, right click and create new file, store.js. Inside that, we want to use the create store method of Redux. Let's import create store from Redux. Create store is a function that creates our Redux store. It takes some parameters. The first one is reducers. We want to define a root reducer in seconds. It's the initial value for state. And the last one is enhancer, which we will use func as an enhancer. Let's define initial state, which is the empty object. And we need to define root reducer too, but before that, let's import store here. Import store from store and make store export default. Export default, create store, and you have access the create store from app.js, and the error changed because it mentioned that root reducer is not defined. Before defining reducer, we need to create a folder named action inside the src. Inside action, we need to define action type. Let's create a file types.js, and inside it, we just export some constant like fetch products. It's an action, and we set this constant to same string, fetch products. Also, we have some other actions like add to cart, like add to cart, or remove from cart. Now it's time to create the action for products. Product actions. The first action in the product action is fetching product. Let's create this action, export const fetch products. It's a function that take another function with dispatch method, and it returns an actions. An actions comprises of a type, which is fetch product, and payload, which is data comes from Ajax request. So let's copy the fetch method inside component will mount in the app and put it inside fetch products action and move the return to the result of fetch request, and the payload will be the data, which is product list. And we don't know the set state anymore because the state will be set at the Redux, not at the component level. Now that we defined our fetch action, it's time to create our reducers. The first reducer we want to define is product reducer. Let's define the product reducer. First of all, create a folder reducers, and inside reducers create product reducer.js. Reducer evaluate current state and an action and return the new state. So let's export default function. Reducer function accept state, which will be set to initial state if there is no state, and an action. And here let's define the initial state. Product reducer states are items. It's the items of products, which will be empty array by default. And here we need to evaluate the action with switch case. If it's fetch product, return default value of state and change the items to action.payload, and the default will return current state. When the fetch products reducers come in the picture, we return default value of state plus replace items with action.payload. So when product.action dispatch this action, the payload will be filled by list of product from this API, and the state in the reducer will get these products and set them into items. Now that we defined our product reducer, it's time to define the root reducer. Right click on reducer, create new file with index.js, and inside index.js we use export default combine reducers, which comes from Redux. And here we have name value object. The first one is products, and the corresponding reducer is product reducers that auto imported from /product reducer. So we can have access to the product from store by state.products. Let's go back to store.js, and here we need to import root reducer from, go to reducer, and it automatically select index.js in the reducer folder. Now that we did all the boilerplate for Redux, it's time to add Redux to the React component. The first component we're gonna do is products. we want to show the list of products by the products that comes from Redux store. To do that, first of all, we need to move export default from class at the end of the products component, and here we use connect. It connects our component to the Redux store. It comes from React-Redux. Connect method need two set of parentheses. The last one will be filled by the component name, and the first one accepts two parameters. The first one is map state to probs. Let's define map state to probs. It takes state of Redux and return an object which is a name value. Let's map the state.products.items to products. So I put products that comes from state of Redux, products, items, and put them inside parentheses and add map state to probs as a first argument of connect, and the second one is the action. The action we're gonna use is fetch products. Let's import fetch product action. Let's go back one folder back, inside action, product actions. Great. The last step is to call the fetch product action in the lifecycle method of products. Component will mount. Component will mount, and inside this method we need to call this .probs.fetch products. You see the result, which shows list of products here. That's it. It's all about adding Redux to the React project. In the next part, we will be adding add to cart action with Redux action. In this part, we want to add filter products to the Redux. Here in the application, if you check the product, filter does not apply to the product items. So what we want to do in this part is applying filtering by size to the list of products. Before that, let's edit store.js and add Redux DevTools. It enables you to watch all the actions and their payload and changing state and finding differences between each state in the store of Redux. Let's do that by adding this code to the create store. What we need to do is to open store.js and inside that define compose enhancer. It check this variable window.redux devtools extension compose, and we also need to import compose from Redux. If window.redux devtools extension compose exists, we use that, else we use the default compose from Redux and use compose enhancer to wrap apply middleware like this. Now we connected our Redux store to the Redux DevTools extension to the Chrome. The next step is to install Redux DevTools extension from Google Chrome Store. You see, you have your actions here. The fetch products action runs and it shows the change and difference between previous state and the next state, and it will help you to find bugs and develop better with transparency. If you don't have this extension, you can download Redux DevTools In this page, you can install this extension. Let's go for filtering products. First of all, we need to add the specified action for filtering products. We want to call that filter products by size. Let's add this constant to the types.js. Open types.js and duplicate one of constant and rename it to filter products by size and set its value to data string. Next step is create the relevant action for filter by size. What we want to do is to create filter product action. So open product.action and you can duplicate fetch products and rename it to filter products. Filter products takes two parameters. The first one is the list of all products and the second one is the size, which we want to filter products based on the size. Inside that, let's get rid of this code, and what we want to do in this method is to filtering product by the size. Here we need to dispatch an action. So return dispatch. The action type is filter products by size and the payload is an object which its items depends on the value of size. If size is empty, we return the product itself, else we filter products based on the size. Products.filter, and for each item in the product we check available sizes dot index of filter size dot to uppercase greater than or equal to 0, and the next item in the payload is the size itself. That's it. We implemented the product action related to filter products. Let's go for product reducer. We want to add a switch case to filter product by size. Open reducer folder, product reducer, and duplicate the case for filter products by size, and here we want to add another property which is filtered items, which is action.payload.items, and the other one is size, which is action.payload.size. These values comes from product action. You see, payload, size, and item will be filled here for filtered item and size. Let's set the initial value for filtered item to empty array and size to empty string. All is set in the product reducer. Let's go for filter component. We need to connect filter component to Redux store. We need to change multiple place in the filter component. First of all, we need to open this component and move export default from class to the end of the code and use connect from React Redux to connect filter component to Redux store. Like previous part, connect comprises of two parentheses and the last one takes filter component and the first one uses map state to probs function which take state of Redux and return an object shows products that comes from state products items and also size which is state dot products dot size. let's use map state to probs. And the second parameter of connect is the action, which is filter products. Let's import filter products from action, product action. And what remains here is to change the unchanged event of filtering by size. We need to get rid of this and use event arrow function and this.probs.action name filter products, and it accepts two parameters. If you check the product action, you see it accepts products and size. So let's pass this.probs.products, and the size will be event.target.value. The last part is to edit products.js component. Let's open product.js. Here, instead of filling products property with state.products.items, we need to change the items to filtered item. And here we need to set filtered item to action.payload for fetching products. Let's check the result. Here I refresh the page, and here I filter product by size, and you see it works. Only show this size small, or I select large, you see only show products with size large. Now that we implemented the filtering by size, let's implement ordering. Here, if you select lowest to highest or reverse, the items in the product list will not change. We want to change their order by the order selected here. To do that, we need to follow steps like filtering products. So first of all, open product.action, but before that, add the specified action. Here, the action name is order product by price, and set its value to that. Here, inside products action, duplicate filter products and change it to sort products. It accepts products and sort. And here we use order products by size, and the sort will be this. And here it's a bit tricky because we want to sort the items in the product items. Let's copy the sort algorithm from the app.js and put it here. So there is no need state dot, and we just set to product. That's it. We created the sort products, and here we check the sort value. If it's dot empty, we check the sort. If it's lowest, we show items from lowest price to highest price, and if it's not, we make the sort descending. But if sort is empty, we sort them by their ID. And at the end of the sort products, we dispatch the action to the reducer. So go to the reducer, and here duplicate filter product by size and change it to order product by price. And here set the sort. Great. Let's go to filter, and here we need to add sort to map state to probs, and here we need to add another action, which is order sort products. Let's bring sort products from products action, and we need to also add filtered product here because we need them to sort. And inside the sort, let's change the sort handler to filter sort products action, and the first parameter is this dot props dot filtered item, filtered product, because we mapped it to filtered product. And the second parameter is event dot target dot value. Let's format the code, and here we check the result. And you see it works. When you change the order by highest to lowest, it shows the highest value of products at top and the lowest at the bottom. That's it about filtering and sorting products by Redux. The last point of this is in the sort products action. Before using the first parameter, which is filtered item, we need to use slice method to make a copy of the array and put it in the products, because Redux cannot find out how to deal with updating and replacing items in an array. So we need to make a copy and replace the new copy with the previous one in the state. In this lesson, we're gonna be managing cart by Redux. Here we have implemented adding item to cart and also removing item from cart. They are not in the Redux store, but they are in the component store. Let's move them to Redux store. Before that, let's clean app.js. Open app.js, and here we do not need constructor anymore. Handle sort and handle chain, and also list product. Great, the app component is clean now. It's time to create action types for adding to cart and removing from cart. Open actions, types, and here we created already add to cart constant and remove from cart constant. The next step is to create cart actions, cart actions.js, and here we need to export constant. The first action is add to cart. This function accepts two parameters. The first one is items of cart, and the second one is the item we're gonna add to the cart. And here, like previous actions we defined, it returns another function which takes dispatch as an argument. And here we need to copy from handle add to cart content here and remove the state related stuff. First of all, we need to copy items with slice function and put it inside a constant named cart items. We define flag product already in cart. Let's rename the item to product because we're gonna add this product to the cart item. And if product is not in the cart, we push it to the cart item. And at the end, we save the cart items in the local storage. At the end of this function, get rid of return cart items, and what we wanna return is dispatch, and we want to dispatch an action. The action type is add to cart, and the payload cart items, which its value is cart items. Let's create a reducer for cart. Inside the reducer folder, create cart reducer.js, and we just copy product reducer boilerplate, the initial state for cart is just items in the cart, which is empty by default. And the only action we're gonna put in the switch case is add to cart, and we just remove the others from import. In the add to cart case, we want to return the new state. The new state is the items that comes from actions.payload.cart items. We need to add cart reducer to the root reducer. Open index.js in the reducer folder and add cart reducer like this. Let's implement remove from cart action. Here export const remove from cart. It's like add to cart, accept items, and the product we're gonna remove from the basket. Inside remove from cart, we're gonna use the code in the app.js inside handle remove from cart. So we do not need them anymore. Let's remove code related to adding and removing from cart in the app.js because we transferred them to the cart actions. And here, let's get rid of set state. What we do in this line is to create a copy of items in the cart and remove the items that is equal to product. And in this line, we save the cart items in the local storage. And at the end, we need to dispatch action remove from cart with related payload, which is cart items. Now it's time to edit basket component. Open basket component and cut export default and move it to at the end of the page, and we wanna connect basket to the Redux store. Let's we use connect and like before 2 parentheses, and the last one takes basket and the first one takes map state. The first props will be cart items that comes from state.cart.items, and we put it as a first argument of connect, and the second argument is action, which is remove from cart. Let's include remove from cart action. And here connect comes from React Redux. Here we need to edit remove button, and on click we'll use remove from cart, and it takes this .props.cart items as a first argument, and the second argument is the product. Now it's time to edit products component. We need to change handle add to cart to the action add to cart in the cart action. So let's import the action here and add it from cart actions, add to cart. The first argument is this .props.cart items, and the second one is the product we're gonna add to the cart. So here we need to put cart items as a props. Cart items comes from state.cart.items, and we do not need E anymore, and the onclick for anchor will be like the onclick for add to cart button. The last step to make basket works is fetching cart items from local storage. Let's open store.js, and here initial state need to check local storage.getItem cart items, and if it exists, we need to set initial state dot cart its items need to comes from local storage. We need to use json.parse to convert a string to JavaScript object. Oops, there is a mistake in cart actions. The dispatch method takes types, not action, as a first property. Let's check the result, and here we're gonna add item, click add to cart, and you get an error which cannot read property cart items of undefined. Let's fix this error. Oops, there is a type error. It's gonna be payload, not playload. Also, we need to edit cart actions and change splice to slice. That's it. We are ready to go. If you click on add to cart, you will see your product is going to add to the basket, and if you click, removing item from basket doesn't work because we need to add the specific case in the switch case for cart reducer. Let's open cart reducer and here create a case for remove from cart, and here the cart items that comes from dispatch in the remove from cart will be replaced with the items in the store. Let's check the result. If you click on remove button, it's gonna work, and we implemented add to cart, remove from cart with Redux store. Thank you guys. Let's fix the last problem in the e-commerce shopping cart. It doesn't show the number of product. Open filter component, and here we want to change this .props.count to the count of products inside filtered product .length. That's it. We have number of products here. Thank you for watching this video, and at the end of this video you know how to create a shopping cart with React and Redux. In next courses, I will teach you how to create a real-world backend for it and make checkout form and many other stuff. You will need to create a real-world application with React